Okay, we got another unit that came in. This is part 3 of our custom FreeNAS build. We now have the power supply. The UPS guy just came and dropped it off. And initial impressions is this thing is heavy. On the UPS package it said it was like 6.60 pounds, which I have full specification links here. And it shows a weight of 1.8 kilogram. So the power supply we chose is a Seasonic G Series 550 watt. Seasonic is known to be one of the best brands that makes power supplies. When you think of Corsair, EVG or EVGA and Cooler Master and all these other brands, they don't actually make the internals. They don't actually make the power supply. These other brands just slap their logo on it. And a lot of the power supplies are made by Seasonic or CWT, Channelwell Tech, etc. People that actually make the internals. And Seasonic is actually a brand that makes internals. And they make pretty good power supplies. So this is the G Series 550 watt. I got this for $70. It's 80 plus gold. And let me get the unboxing knife. And since this is an application that's going to be on 24/7, it's a server, it's a file server, FreeNAS. I ain't going to cheap out. And $70 seems pretty cheap for a power supply, honestly. Do not spend less than $60 for a power supply. Now, I could have gone with Seasonic's premium tier, which are like the titanium ones, and they're prime, and they have a 12-year warranty, and they're, But I've heard a lot of good things about the G Series as well. I heard the G Series is another good, more budget-friendly power supply, but also still being reliable. And actually, a YouTuber named Mark Furnox, sorry if I butchered your last name, he highly recommends Seasonic power supplies as well. He's really good with electronics, engineering, electronics. And he has a G Series Seasonic. I'm not sure which wattage one, but they're all basically from the same series. Now this was in wrap. He had one in his file server. He was using these shoddy Molex SATA adapters, and this isn't the fault of the power supply. He bought these and used them because he didn't have enough SATA connectors, and everybody knows those things are notorious for being bad quality and catching your house on fire. These adapters, Molex SATA, and a couple of them melted in his file server, and luckily his Seasonic kicked the computer off and it stopped it from advancing and basically catching the whole computer on fire. The only thing that was damaged was basically a couple connectors on his hard drives. So that was really good. The Seasonic saved the day there. Now, that is a con of these Seasonics, is they don't usually include enough SATA connectors or whatever. They still give you quite a bit of Molex ones. But the thing is modular. So you don't go out and buy a Molex SATA adapter. The solution is to go to cable mod, and since this is module, you can make whatever cables you want. You can have whatever connectors you want because they can plug right in directly into the rails of the power supply because it's modular. So this company called Cable Mod, they're actually pretty popular. They make custom cables for various modular power supplies. Seasonic, Corsair, Cooler Master, EVGA, you name it. So that's what I did, is I went out and bought 2 SATA cables, SATA power cables, for this specific power supply. Now let's talk about the specifications. I have an excellent review done by I don't know. I think it was Power Up Tech. I'll put the name over, but I'll include the link in the description, and it includes a lot of information about this power supply, like the internals, the build quality, how good it is with voltage regulation, the ripple, the hold time, everything. It is excellent. So this is an active PFC power supply, which that means if you're going to put a UPS on this, make sure it is a higher end pure sine wave. Most UPS's uninterruptible power supplies, the cheaper ones, and by cheap I mean under $200 or under $300, they all have a modified sine wave. They don't give you the true 60 hertz sine wave. It's more like a square wave or a triangle wave. And some power supplies and some things that you plug into that don't like seeing that modified sine wave. So if you're going to put UPS on this, if your power supply is active PFC, it is highly recommended you get a pure sine wave UPS. I'm not saying you have to, but I highly recommend it. This can operate from 0C to 50C, and for protections, if you look right there, the thing is just covered. Over voltage protection, under voltage protection, over current protection, over power protection, over temperature protection, short circuit protection. So, and the warranty on this is 5 years, which isn't the best, but that's still a decent amount. And I got it for $70. Now, also shows you the excuse me. It also shows you the wattage per rail. So there's that. So let's go ahead and let's stop talking about the specifications and everything. Let's just open it. You want to see an unboxing. So here's the front. You have Seasonic G Series modular cable power supply. And over here it's 80 plus gold, and it says Intel Haswell processor ready, 550 watts. On the top, basically the same graphic. On the side, you basically have a spec sheet, which is basically the same thing that was from that review. Basically the same thing. And it's CE certified FCC. I was looking for a UL. Oh, is UL on here? Has a lot of certifications, and of course you have your serial number, which I'm going to blur that out. On the back, you have just a lot of things here. Let's take a look. 80 plus gold certified. DC to DC converter design. That's another good thing about this power supply is instead of converting the AC to DC for all the rails, it just converts AC to DC once on a 12 volt rail. And it takes that DC 12 volt rail and down converts it from your 5 volts, your 3.1, etc. So it's a really smart design how they did that. Tight voltage regulation, plus or minus 3%, which I think in this review over here, they said it was even closer to 1%, which is good. Smart and silent fan control. High reliable 105 degrees Celsius Japanese caps, which this particular Seasonic model has, I believe, Nippon Kimicon. It's over here in the review. We'll take a look at it later. But that review over there shows you what's actually inside of it, and they are Japanese caps. They're Nippon Kimicon, which is a really good brand as well. Conductive polymer aluminum solid caps, built with high-level Japan or Taiwan source components, which ensures operation stability at extreme conditions. Now, here's something I've noticed that looks really kind of funny. The font on this, it's all consistent except for this bullet point. It has a different font. I don't know if you see that. This specific one has a different font. Seasonic. Somebody didn't take a look at their drawing board. Detachable modular cables, high current gold plated terminals, ultra ventilation, honeycomb. Can support multiple GPUs, 120 millimeter fluid dynamic bearing fans. And it just shows, temperature and the noise and RPMs. Universal AC input. That's another thing. You don't have to worry about flipping a switch on the back from 120 to 240. Like if you're in the US or UK, plug it right in. You don't have to worry about messing with a switch. It will see what is being sent to it, and it'll adjust accordingly. And of course, you got the 5-year warranty. On this side, just another one of them things. On the bottom, you just have various languages, which there's really nothing on the bottom. So let's go ahead. Let's stop talking. Let's open the damn thing already, right? Without ruining it. Damn. There we go. So as you can see, we have, oh damn it, I ripped it a little bit. Shit. We have Seasonic, at least it's a minor tear, and it just pulls right out. Damn it. There we go. There we go. So we have Seasonic, and just the cardboard box. There's no writing on it. And it opens up like this. Really nice packaging. And boom. We're in. So inside, we have our user manual, Seasonic. Green innovation powers your life. I wonder if there's anything important in here. Nope, just says connect the right cables. Really, this doesn't tell you shit about it. Oh! It shows you the wire configuration here on the back, which is a good thing to look at. Because a lot of people, when they unbox power supplies, they don't show you all the cables that come with it. You know, they just gloss right over it. You're like, well, how many SATA connectors does it come with? How many PCI connectors? You know, people don't pay attention to that shit. Our commitment to superior quality, 5-year warranty. And that's basically just telling you how you get your serial number, your model name, and basically go to the website and submit an RMA if it's a dud or a lemon. Ooh, nice. So we got a nice bag here that has all our cables and shit in it. I can just feel it. The bag is not bad quality. Seasonic logo. So inside here, let's see what it's like. We're going trick or treating. You know, what goodies are they giving us? So we have our North American plug for United States, Canada, Mexico. There's that. And then we have all the cables put into one bag. Which, you know what? I'm not going to use any of these cables because, as I mentioned, I'm going to use custom cables from Cable Mod for my SATA power because this is going to be a NAS. It's going to be on 24/7. I might as well get the best quality cables to run the hard drives 24/7, right? I'm not saying these are bad cables. These aren't the ones that will catch your house on fire. The ones that will catch your house on fire are the ones that you buy on eBay or anywhere else that are adapters, like, you know, your Molex SATA adapters, etc. Those are the things that will catch your house on fire, not the included cables from your power supply. The ones from the power supply are, of course, high quality, but... So I'm going to open this just for shits and giggles. Oh, maybe not. Just take the knife to it. Shit. Not the best open. Very crinkly and cheap bag, I'll tell you that. Now these connectors, they seem alright. I wouldn't say they're the best quality. They're decent thickness. I don't know if it says the AWG on it. Let's see here. 18 AWG, which is perfectly fine. That'll handle about 10 to 12 amps. Let me go ahead and throw that crinkly bag away. So that'll hold about 10 to 12 amps. So let's take a look at the cables they give you, because nobody fucking tells you what cables the damn things come with. So we got a PCIe, and you have 6-pin, but you can make it 8-pin if you need to. So that would be for like your graphics card. So it looks like we got one of those, and this end goes into the power supply. So we got one 6 to 8-pin PCIe connector, PCIe. So there's that one, and I don't know how long it is, but I'd hope it would reach, looking at it. We have another one. This is a short cable, very fucking short. And this is 2 SATA connectors. And that plugs into the power supply. So we got 2 SATA connectors. We got another one. And this one is another PCIe 6 to 8. So you got 2 of those. So if you need 2 PCIe connectors with 6 or 8 pins, you're good to go. You got a Molex to floppy drive adapter because why not, right? And we got a 2 Molex connectors if you need Molex for anything, which maybe if you're running an old IDE hard drive, maybe. You got another 3 Molex connectors, and of course this end plugs into the power supply. And then you got 4 SATA connectors, and this one's a bit longer. So 6 total SATA connectors, but one of the SATA connectors is fucking short. This one's longer and has 4 on it. So there's all your cables. So I was nice enough to tell you all the cables that come with it. Nobody would ever do that. So I'm going to put all these back in the bag because guess what? I ain't going to use any of them because I won't need to use any of them. Don't have a graphics card, and my SATA power connectors are going to be from Cable Mod. Now in here, we have some nice Velcro I can't speak. Velcro straps from Seasonic. They say Seasonic on them, and they just say Seasonic.com. They're really nice Velcro straps. It looks like there's 3 of them in there. They give us a lot of black zip ties, and then we have a nice powered by Seasonic sticker. And look, I can easily peel that off and put it on my case, unlike the freaking Intel. And then in here, which you probably can't really see that well, is a bunch of foam and crap over the power supply. So let's go ahead and take this out. So in here, we got, holy shit, we got the power supply, and it's they protected it with foam. They really made it look nice. They really gave a shit. Oh, don't want to break the foam. So here is our power supply. Look at that. Look at that beast. So it feels really nice, really premium, and has a nice, I think that's 140 millimeter fan. And of course you got your warranty void if removed. So on the side here, what you have is you have a bunch of shit on the side here. Got Seasonic model G 550. High pot, that basically means if you touch this motherfucker, you're not going to get shocked. It's been properly tested. They properly test to make sure it's fully grounded. You got your serial number, which I'm going to have to freaking blur out. Okay, and you gotta love the nice made in China. Oh my goodness, what is it made in China? And over here, we got G Series. Let me put on autofocus again. We got G Series modular cable, and guess what? They're actually labeled. On the pictures I've seen online, these weren't labeled. They are labeled, and it looks like you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different connectors for peripheral or SATA connectors. So if you wanted to go overkill and get a bunch of cable mod cables, you could. And then you got your 24-pin motherboard, and you got your 2 4-pin. Sorry if you can't see that. You got 2 4-pin CPUs, which makes an 8-pin CPU. On the side here, you got Seasonic G Series, 80 plus gold. Sorry if I'm rushing. And on the back here, you got that nice tactile switch. It says Seasonic input voltage 100 to 240 volts AC. Got nice ventilation, and so this thing is heavy, it's premium, it's nice, and there you go. There's the top of it. Now one thing I have noticed, which I don't like, is they put this on this side, but as you notice, the fan's on top, and the way it's going to be mounted in most cases is the fan's going to be down, because a lot of cases have power supplies at the bottom now. So this is what you're going to be seeing. I'm not a big fan of that. So that's another con. Now as for the specification sheet, I'm going to, or the review here, which basically shows all the connectors, all the internals. I will be including a link in the description so you guys can go and read this rather in-depth review of this particular power supply. It will tell you about the internal build quality, the brand of the caps, they'll also test it, the voltage regulation of it. They'll do a lot of extensive testing. Let me see, just a bunch of pictures of the inside, which I'll include a couple in the overlay. See, they do a bunch of pictures. You see they have an ADDA fan, which I haven't heard of that. So that fan's probably not the best quality fan they put in it. But as you can see, for the voltage regulation, it's very good. As you can see, we are right here. 1.06%. Sorry if you can't see that on the camera. But that is where we're at, and that's really good. They show the voltage regulation, how the voltage fluctuates over different power loads on that. Such as the 5-volt rail, the 3.3 volt rail. They test all these rails, and they're all at 1 point something percent. They test inrush current voltage regulation, the ripple, what's like at different loads, the efficiency, like how efficient is the power supply at certain loads. So since this is a FreeNAS server, it's probably going to be running at probably 150, 200 watts. And in that range, we'll be looking at about 90, 92, 93% efficiency, which is pretty darn good. That's not bad at all. it just shows efficiency at low loads and fan RPM and temperatures, and this is a very extensive review. And if we look at the final conclusion, because I'm going to wrap this up, basically the goods is it delivers full power and even more at 45 degrees Celsius. It's efficient, good voltage regulation overall, excellent ripple suppression, fair price, 5-year warranty, pretty rich bundle, and it has 2 cons. The hold-up time is 2 milliseconds lower than the limit of the ATX spec, which the ATX spec is 16 milliseconds. This thing runs at 14 milliseconds, which that shouldn't be much of a problem depending on your UPS. Most UPSs can switch over in under 10 milliseconds. So, like I said, when you get a UPS for this thing, do your research. Make sure it's a pure sine wave. Make sure that the switchover, when the power is lost, that it'll switch over and under 14 milliseconds. Because if not, obviously you're going to lose power to your computer. So that is a con. Is it's just the hold up time is just a little bit under spec. But most UPSs should be able to switch over in under 14 milliseconds just fine. Only 2 PCIe connectors, which I showed you both of them. So if you want more PCIe connectors, you're kind of fucked, or you could probably get cable mod to do it, depending on what wattage each rail can go up to. So the overall rating is 8.8, and they get a highly recommend from Tech Power Up, which that's the site I told that's the site that this review came from. So anyway, that wraps this up. This has been the Seasonic G Series 550 watt, guys. Thanks for watching.